Hey YouTube, Kevin Cleary here with a video for you. This is a knife video and it's going to be the second installment of my most carried for the month. Obviously we're now in April and the month of March has passed, so I wanted to get this video out talking about what I carried the most often in the previous month, okay? And there's a few blades that I've got here that are pretty cool. Most of these I think you've seen before, most of them I've reviewed. Some of them, you know, the review is still coming up, and so I've been kind of carrying it for that purpose. The one knife I'm leaving out today is the Lion Steel SR1 because you've already seen a review of it just shortly, so you kind of know I carried it quite a bit so that I could speak with some experience about that knife when I did the review. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. Let's see, how am I going to organize this? I guess I'll just grab and whatever I have I'll tell you about. Let's see, let's go with the Spyderco Manix 2 XL first. This is one of my all-time favorite blades. It's big, it's strong, it's capable, you know, good materials, good fit and finish, good in hand. I mean, there's not much to dislike about this blade. It's exceptionally good. By the way, I think also you can pick these up for around $100 if you don't get the black DLC, which is a fantastic price. Like for what you're getting, a very strong, very comfortable knife, S30V blade steel. Anyway, great blade. As you can see, I'll just remind you, I do have the Casey Lynch deep carry pocket clip on here. I like Casey as a person. I've dealt with him a few different times and love these clips. You know, if I could, if he would just custom make them for me, I would put one on every knife I own practically. There's a couple that I wouldn't bother with, but great clip. And this is a great knife. Really like these guys. Just a big, capable blade. And even though it's big and capable, it's not overly heavy. It carries pretty easily. Alright, so there you go. Manix 2 XL is one of the knives I carried a lot. Let's get some of these bigger blades out of the way. Here is the Spyderco T4. Another favorite D2 steel, beautifully milled G10, super thick liner, and even though you're getting a very robust, you know, overbuilt blade, it only weighs 6.5 ounces or maybe 6.2 if I'm remembering correctly. So it's not heavy, but boy, it's heavy duty. Very good blade, super comfortable in hand, very capable, just a real favorite, and it looks awesome. You know, just look at that. Such a cool looking blade in addition to all the capability that you get. I really need to add a couple of more Spyderco blades to the collection. I'm waiting until, you know, I can have enough money for a division. That's my next Spyderco blade, I think. But anyway, in the meantime, this is awesome. Let's see, where do we go next? How about this guy? This is the 0560. Again, a favorite knife. I have a lot of favorites, hence the collection. If I only had one favorite, I would probably sell all the rest. But this is a great knife. Again, now titanium frame lock. Super strong, super capable, very comfortable in hand. Really versatile blade shape. There's a lot to really like about this blade, and certainly I do like it a lot. So there you go, 0560 was another one I often carried. I think part of what's going through my mind right now, by the way, is the fact that the weather is going to be warming up soon. And so some of these are larger knives, and I sort of am thinking, hey, pretty soon when I'm wearing like shorts or light clothing, you know, maybe linen or dress pants that are lighter weight for, you know, preaching and stuff, I won't want to carry some of these larger blades. So, you know, get it out of my system now in the next month or so, and then when summer comes, I'll be okay. Let's see, next on the list, this is a rather new blade. This is the Paramilitary 2 in S35 VN. It's one of the sprint runs. I am kind of trying to pick up a few Para 2 sprints. I'm particularly interested in, if you have one, private message me, maybe we can work something out. I'm particularly interested in the orange and blue, the bento box exclusive, and then the orange, which is, what is it, 204 or something. Anyway, if you've got an orange Para 2 or a blue Para 2, I'd be interested in talking to you. Anyway, this is the brown Para 2. It looks really cool in my collection with the olive drab Para 2 in LMAX. And so anyway, great knife. Carries super well, and I know these are collector's pieces, but I do carry them and I do use them. I'm not going to, you know, take it out in the woods and start hacking trees down or anything, because I would like to keep it in reasonably good condition. But all the knives that I own, I do use, even though some of them are more for the collection. So Para 2 Sprint, that's a really fun blade. Here is the Kershaw Knockout. I've been carrying this a lot. I've been really impressed with this blade. It's one of the fastest. Of course, you know, I have a few Kershaws. They all have the speed safe, but this is one of the fastest assisted opening knives that I have, let alone one of the fastest speed safe knives that I have. Just a really positive spring in there, and just blasts the knife out of handle. Very nice blade, comfortable in hand, extremely thin and comfortable. You can carry this knife and not even know you have it. Aluminum handles. If there is a drawback, it would probably be the lack of any kind of traction, but it's not the end of the world. I've used this a fair bit and not had any major issues. The other thing that I would maybe say as a takeaway is this swedge. I like the swedge, but move it forward half an inch or a quarter of an inch so that my thumb is on a thicker piece of blade steel if I'm trying to do some close cutting. Anyway, Kershaw Knockout. This is a great blade. I'm really impressed with the Knockout. Really like it. Since we're doing aluminum handle scales, let's look at the Code 4 from Cold Steel. Again, this is a favorite. I'm really looking forward to this blade in CTX XHP, and when my favorite seller, when the guy I'm wanting to buy it from, which is Warriors and Wonders, gets those in, I would like this in CTX XHP and Tanto blade style. So that's what I'm waiting for. And so I think I kind of been carrying this in anticipation of that blade coming and being in the collection. When it comes, I will do another sort of follow-up of this. I've had it for quite a while and have not lost even a little bit of interest in it. It's still a great blade, totally awesome. So, Cold Steel Code 4 has been with me quite a bit. What haven't I talked about? Two little Spydercos left. The Native 5, I've carried this a bunch of times in my off pocket. So a lot of times if I'm carrying, let's say this guy, wow, that was a fail. Let's say I'm carrying the T4, or let's say I'm carrying the 0560, I'll throw this in my other pocket and bring it out and use it as, you know, my main cutting knife that day, because no one's going to get too concerned if you pull this out of your pocket, where in certain situations they might about one of those other knives. So this guy I've been carrying, and of course, as you know, I do like it. I don't find the serrations to be an issue. I actually particularly like the way they look on this guy. Spyderco Native is a good little blade. By the way, this is the riveted construction, and I have no problems with it. I've used it a lot, and in fact, probably more than I should in some senses. One time I came and I was finishing a little construction project, and this was the only knife I had with me, and it turned out a couple things didn't fit, and I ended up like cutting and you know, whittling and prying and pulling wood apart with this thing, and it held up really well. So for a little lightweight knife with no liners, it's a lot stronger than it looks. Finally, Spyderco Domino. This is fairly new, and that's probably one of the reasons I've been carrying it more. This is the blue twill carbon fiber. Absolutely gorgeous. I've done a little reading about this, and I can't tell if it was an exclusive or not. So the paperwork and the packaging says that it's a particular run done for some company, Arizona Knives or something. Anyway, having said that, they're widely available, and I don't know if they'll always be available. You know, if you look in Spyderco's catalog, it doesn't indicate that this is a sprint run of any kind. Anyway, I really love the look of this, and in fact, they were on sale. I think KnifeWorks. Anyway, after I got it, I noticed somewhere had them as a really good, really discounted price, and I'm like, I don't know why they'd be on sale, especially if they're a sprint run, but they were even cheaper than the standard version. So really great knife. I particularly like this version. I think it looks much better than the standard configuration. And if you couldn't guess this, I do have a Casey Lynch clip in blue titanium coming for this. This clip is fine, but I just think because of the blue scale, it really needs a blue anode clip over here. Great flipper, one of the fastest flippers that I have. This thing, beats a lot of assisted opening knives with its flipping action. Just super fast. It is fairly small and light, so if you're not into large knives, this is a great option. I will do a full review of this coming up, as well as a comparison to some other blades that that I think are fairly close competitors. Okay, I think that's everything. I will show you just one last thing, and that is my other EDC stuff. This is the ThruNite TI3, absolutely phenomenal little light. I put a review up of it just a few days ago. I cannot get over how great this is. Chapstick, gotta have chapstick. And this will be coming up for a review as well. This is the Leatherman Squirt. I picked this up from a guy who was adding, I was buying something else from him, I can't remember what it was, but I was buying something else, and he said, hey, if you want to throw in one of these squirts, I have 3 or 4 of them, you can have it for like, whatever, $6 or cheap. So I'm like, yeah, what the heck? And I have been so impressed with this. It's very good. So I will do a review and a comparison with the Style, which you guys know has been in almost every EDC video up to this point. This thing is really impressive. There you go, guys. I think that pretty well covers all of the knives that I've mostly been carrying in the month of March. Of course, the exception is that I pointed out the SR1. I did carry it quite a bit because I was wanting to have some experience with it for the review. And so because the review just went up a couple days ago, I didn't bother to put it in this video. There you go. Thanks a lot. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.